Hello, and welcome back to my review of Black Clover Chapter 362. This one certainly isn't as crazy as the last one, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. We open with a panel of the King of the Clover Kingdom questioning what's going on and saying that everyone must protect him. We also get to see the pieces of the Common Realm from last chapter continue to ascend into the sky. Kaiser is punched in the face and sent into a building. He is, of course, the captain of the Purple Orcas, and this was done by one of the Lucius clones. The citizens are just freaking out all over the place as they realize that the Wizard King is the enemy. We see Lucius hovering above the citizens as the angels fly around, causing more destruction, and pretty much everyone has given up hope, saying that it's all over and they're already as good as dead. Then Marx appears using his communication magic to speak to the citizens of the kingdom. He asks all of the citizens to listen to him, and then we quickly cut for a single panel to a memory of Julius. Now, I personally don't remember if this was a conversation they already had or if this is brand new content. I'm pretty sure it's new though. But Julius says information itself is the most powerful weapon. There may come a time when your magic can help us more than anything else. And Marx tells the people of the Clover Kingdom that the Wizard's King body has been possessed by the enemy. His power is absolute and he is the most powerful enemy. Yet, knowing that, there are those risking their lives and fighting for the sake of our country. Not only that, but one of them has already defeated the Wizard King once. I'm sure many of you know who he is. Then Mimosa joins in, giving her name, saying she's in the same brigade as him, and then continues to gas up Yuno a little more. It's all stuff that we already know about him. She then says that with the other captains, he's leading the Magic Knights, still fighting and protecting. Mimosa then brings up a very interesting point. So far, lots of Magic Knights have come to her for aid, but not a single citizen has been seriously injured. It's thanks to Yuno's magic that all of the citizens should be more powerful, and she tells them to use their powers to run and to live. And she also continues by saying that in order to be saved, you must be willing to save others. The power to protect and the power to live is stronger than anything else, so please don't give up. And this also, at the same time, she has an inner monologue saying, "Isn't that right, Asta?" with a picture of Asta's face from the Lucifero fight, specifically from chapter 321. And this is the chapter, if some of you guys remember, when Mimosa heals Asta, but then Asta leaves to continue fighting. And as he's leaving, Sekei is questioning him. Now, this moment is also going to be important for the next scene because next we see Sekei telling the citizens to run and that he'll hold off the enemy. He uses his magic to create this big cannonball gun. However, it's instantly shattered to pieces. And Sekei gets an inner monologue here in which he says that he knew becoming strong wouldn't be easy, but still he tried to get stronger. And we see this panel of Asta's back again from 321, where Sekei says, "I'm not done yet. I can still fight. I can still stand, just like Asta." And Sekei actually gets up, and we see his face is all beaten up. But this panel is very clearly meant to parallel Asta's at the end of chapter 321, where the final page there was that big page of Asta's face all beaten up. And even on this final page of 321 is when Sekei says that he wants to be like Asta, and we are quite literally seeing this here in 362. We get some more back and forth between Lucius and Yuno. However, it's the same type of "it's over for you" dialogue that we've kind of been getting back and forth from them the past few chapters. Now, actually, at the bottom of the page here, something I noticed is we see Yuna's mana zone, Never Never Land. And Julius's fortress has not reached the dome yet. In fact, you can't even see it in this panel. So I would imagine that it's actually still pretty high in the sky, and we still have a decent amount of time, maybe a couple more chapters, before this thing even touches the mana zone. Now we cut to the land of the sun for a page. Asta asks where everyone is, and Ryu is actually using Tengetsu, and this thing can see pretty far because he gives Asta a rundown of what's going on in the Witch Queen's forest. He says that they all should be getting ready, but then he alludes to someone showing up. Cut to the Witch Queen's forest, and they're starting up the first part of this spell in order to bring Asta to them. However, Daminato shows up. Now, obviously, he's a paladin, and he has 5 angels with him, and that's how the chapter ends. So, to give some of my thoughts here, Kaiser being punched through a building is worrisome. I really want to see something from this guy before the series is over, and I'm not even sure if he's going to get back up at this point. Granted, I know he's a very minor character, but still, as someone who's a Magic Knight captain, I just want to see anything from him. Now, I do have to say, I really appreciate the emphasis that has been given on the citizens. Over the last few chapters, we've gotten many different reactions from them to this whole scenario. And now, possibly in the coming chapters, they're actually going to help, maybe with fighting or just actually standing up for themselves, which, in my opinion, is a very smart choice that I like because I like not just seeing our characters, but also seeing civilians and background type of characters, which I think helps, I don't know, I guess, build on this current battle we have and add more scale to it when you focus on some of the smaller pieces. And of course, we have great moments here from Marx and Mimosa. And this might actually end up being Marx's big moment here for the final arc. I do hope that we can just see something more from Mimosa that isn't only relegated to her healing, but nonetheless, I really love her speech here and how she was inspired by Asta, and I'm actually going to touch back on that in a second. Sekei's moment was fantastic, and I think it was great considering what his character's been throughout the series, and I really do hope that we can continue this in the next coming chapters. I've always wanted to see something like this from him, pretty much since he was introduced, and I'm genuinely happy that we're getting it in this chapter. Now, I want to talk about the influence of Asta. As in chapter 360, Lucius mentions that he can't see a future in a world that is influenced by Asta. And I tried to describe how I would have liked this to play out. I don't think I did the best job at it, but I think that now we have some really solid examples of what I was talking about. In chapter 359, Noelle gets up from crying by the coast, saying that she can't give up yet, thinking of Asta. And in this chapter, Mimosa gives her speech telling the citizens not to give up while thinking of Asta, and Sekei gets back up after taking a direct hit from an angel, saying that he can still fight just like Asta. Asta has had a major influence on all of these people's lives, and the tide of this battle is changing little by little because of how much Asta has impacted these people. And it's storytelling like this that I do genuinely love. Now, also, when it comes to Daminato, skipping ahead just a tad, I think that, obviously the Black Bulls are going to fight him. But maybe this fight could result in a big moment for one of the more minor Black Bulls, such as like Gray or Gansh, as I feel like the more powerful members like Luck and Magna are actually going to be fighting the Lucius clones when the Black Bulls eventually get to the Clover Kingdom. Now, then again, I could be wrong, and maybe the whole squad was to jump him next chapter. That's a possibility. We'll just have to wait and see. Yet again, the final arc's been great, and I actually do have a bit more faith in how Tabata is going to pull off this influence of Asta plotline. If you made it this far, I haven't seen the Sword of the Wizard King movie yet. I'm probably going to watch it this weekend and try to get some sort of a review out before the next chapter's out. I hope that you all are having a great day, and that's going to be all from me today. Bye, guys.